it crazy or autocracy? Or what type of crazy is that? Except crazy.
News making the headlines.
Black Maria is to carry criminals, trading looters that are in government today.
Sometimes it gets confrontational.
Slap you in the face.
Excuse me, don't put words into my mouth.
Whatever it is that will bring our military to disrepute, I say to hell
On
with it.
Core Digest,
I want to know why I should be believing them.
every weekday, we bring all of these together and take them to the court of public opinion.
Everybody has a right in Nigeria.
Where you are the judge.
All right, welcome back and straight to business on our topic today, SARAKI'S trial and the Panama leaks, the great revelations. And like I said, the house is full. From my far left is a regular on this show. Very soon we'll probably just be having him as the in-house lawyer here and rights activist, Samuel Ade Ola. You're welcome. Yeah. And well, Ufi Uzono, yeah, becoming a very regular face here too. Gentlemen, the cesspool of fraud and corruption in Nigeria is hitting every nook and cranny of this country. And the number 3 citizen who for 2 consecutive days been dogged is now being named again in what you want to call the world's greatest fraud league, the Panama Papers. What's the implication of this and even governance in Nigeria? Samuel, let me start from you.
Implication. It doesn't have any implication on Nigeria. What is the implication about? Where those things has implication is already happening. Iceland PM has already resigned. The Swiss police has already moved to UEFA office. So in Nigeria, it's same of the same.
It's just game on.
Just like
when you play table tennis, say game goes.
Yeah, so it's a continuous exercise. It's something that we are used to.
It's quite funny.
Just wake up
But this is a very serious matter, Samuel.
It's not serious in Nigeria. I've told you where it is serious. The second day, the Iceland PM resigned. That's where it is serious. You saw my post yesterday. Nigeria is a republic of idiots.
But that's very that's too harsh and strong to use.
Are we not?
But we are not.
Is our situation not strong and pathetic? It's only in Nigeria that you see people go and queue and sleep at the petrol station, and the things will still be going as if nothing is happening. The government will still be feeling heavy and pompous to tell us that to end today, to end tomorrow. Only in Nigeria you can see that we are idiots. We are ruled by fools. Yes, don't manage words for reality. Please, let us just be sincere. Don't manage words for reality. This is reality. This is what we are seeing over time. So don't manage words. Don't try to be. I don't know how to be nice when it comes to reality, because it's like I will be killing and my conscience will be dying. I don't want to die that conscience. When that conscience dies, then I will become like any other person. Cash spitters, or like my friend will call it, cash and carry activist. Don't manage words. Don't try to manage words. Say it the way it is. There's no way you can call a spade an agricultural implement. It's a spade. It's a spade. Just manage it. We are a republic of
is a spade not an agricultural implement?
Agricultural implement called spade is a spade. A spade is a spade and it has its own functions. So when you say agricultural implement, it can be caterpillar, it can be tractor, it can be, but a spade, you know what you use a spade to do. And we are a republic of idiots ruled by fools. Because if we are not, I cannot. I'm saying it on air. I was forced to call the NSC leader that you guys are just too. You are joining the league of those Nigerians that have problem with. Because I cannot imagine workers going to office and having this kind of problem, getting no to their work and coming back home, and you are still allowing them to go to work every other day when there is no sign of respite inside. So the same thing when you talk about Saraki money, na normal thing na today. Na today you know Saraki dey steal money. A papa too free. Alright, move to the next question.
Kofi, Please, what do you think here?
Well,
Is it something, you know, that the way Samuel, you know, is washed it in public like this? So
well, with all due respect to my learned senior, I think I've been looking for a way to really express with such freedom. But you know, this political correctness, it has a way of shaping or bending people. But I think, you know, some of the times opportunities should be given to Nigerians for them to unbundle, free themselves, you understand, and speak their minds. There's a whole lot going on. But what I'm seeing and what I'm feeling is that I have always been saying that Nigeria is a complex amalgam. The way the UK merged Nigeria, it's not supposed to be so. I don't know if they were so angry that we were asking for independence and they say, okay, let us see how you coexist for the next 50 years. We are going to give you a very complex, okay, Yoruba man with different culture, different language, you mix it with Hausa with a different ideology, philosophy, religion, you know, and then you add it to the South. Gaddafi looked at this and said, look, you people are very complex. I am seeing corruption and fraud as an offshoot of this complex entity called Nigeria. Because, for instance, let me just look at it. This new government came in, and what it was busy doing was to appoint Northerners into almost all the sensitive areas. And Fani Kayode and co, we are screaming that this is Northernization agenda playing out right before us. And nobody could really, you know, most I say, some people will say, okay, they push the argument and the narrative that, well, if it is only the North that can provide respite, that can push us to the next this, then we are fine. Let things be done, let things happen, let there be light, let there be this. But I said no, because of the nature of the country that we are in, we need to have equal representation. We need to have a lot of things that shows that the country belongs to all.
Now,
when it comes to corruption, I see corruption as being systemic. For instance, if the wealth is going towards a region and there's a problem tomorrow that demands for people to take up arms to fight and defend their territories, these people that have less financial resources will not be empowered to be able to defend themselves, so they'll be literally destroyed. So we see some people gathering the money. I don't know if you've had issues of communal clashes before. Issues of communal clash, you discover that it is the rich man. It is the rich man in the village. He may not go to war,
that sponsors,
but he will be the one to somehow buy weapons and make sure that the boys are, and then ginger them, give them some money to, you understand? That is how these things are. When it comes to, that's why I see the Constitution says that the wealth should not be so concentrated in a particular group of people, you know, maybe the elite class, or maybe even a region, so that the unity of the nation will not be threatened. It's in the Constitution. The Constitution talks about appointment, looking at federal character and all of that. So when I look at corruption in Nigeria, I see it not only as endemic, but structural and systemic. These are the things that are fueling this thing. But when we come to these minor issues of like Saraki matters now,
the Saraki'S matter, is it minor?
Right now it is before the court, so we can't really comment on it because these facts are to be proven. They have not yet been proven, so we can't really go into the fine details of those. But the FCC at least is doing what it should do, and the defense team of Saraki are doing what they should do. But when you begin to single out individuals, you are trying to look at different parameters. But when you are looking at a group, you are also looking at different parameters. You see, for instance, in this same studio, I have talked about the issue of forex. When you go to the BDCs, you don't see the Igbo man in the BDCs. You don't mostly see the Yoruba man in the BDCs. But you see people from one ethnic group in the BDC.
I don't think this discussion is about ethnicities and religious bigotry. That's where I differ. I don't think we should go in that line. We should talk about Nigeria. You see, the mistake you are making is this: when they sit down to share this money, they don't look at themselves as Hausa Yoruba people. They share it with all impunity and to damn even the Talakawas, the Igbos and the Yorubas that are so-called intelligent, and they share it among themselves. They don't leave all this. I don't know how long we are going to carry on with this primordial sentiment called religious ethnicity. For crying out loud, whoever is there, let the work be done. Let me go by if that is the way you want to go. When Jonathan was in government, everybody some of the posts available are for the Igbos. Even the South does not even have much as it were from his own, and he gave it them to the Igbos. I don't care whether Okonjo-Iweala is from anywhere. If she performed excellently well, it's not my business. Let there be democracy dividend. Let the job be done the way it's supposed to be done. Let it be that they will write your name on the skies and they will be without blemish. That is what was supposed to be most paramount, and that is exactly what makes more Nigerians the Republic of Idiots. Because when we beginning to look at it, it's not my brother that is in this place. The one your brother is, what did he do with it? That's the question. The one it is not my ethnic nationality that is in this place. It was the one they put your ethnic nationality. What did he do with it? My problem. I don't know Buhari from Adams until he came up in 1984. And when he came up in 1984, because of his integrities and the way he handled things then, because he was about putting Nigerians on the right path of good governance.
We were queuing for essential commodities then.
Yes.
Nigerians were queuing in 1984,
for essential commodities because all these things are being hoarded. People are hoarding it.
So they are hoarding. We are facing hoarding right now too. Of course, petroleum products.
I thought you follow me on social media.
Go on.
The very first thing I did immediately, I heard that they have given back 58.9% of foreign importations to the major marketers. The first thing I wrote is that, and the winner is the cabals. Because all along, by the time Buhari came in, he has failed to do what he ought to have done. The same thing happened to the power sector. Those two areas, he will have addressed it holistically. And all this problem we are having now, we won't have it. The first thing we should have done, we already have an indicted paper on ground over these subsidies fraud, in which only one person, 1.7 trillion naira, was accrued to him from kerosene and fuel subsidy. Ifa Yuba, the man that owns Capital Oil, and Otedola and the rest of them. In order to circumvent justice, Otedola maneuvered one way or the other and bribed the man that was the head of that probe, because he was also gullible and greedy. He went ahead to go and collect bribe. And according to the law that I read, both those that give and the one that collect, they are all culprit. But what are we seeing? At the end of the day, that was what I expected Buhari to do. If he had done that, all these cabals would have known that it is not going to be business as usual. What happens to this oil thing, to this fuel problem? As at the time January, when they do what they call modulation pricing, that brings the price to 86 naira 50 kobo and 86 naira to NNPC stations, they couldn't believe themselves that subsidy will be systemically taken away. And the review of the modulation prices was to be at the end of this March. They watch, and before you know it, they regroup themselves and eventually, swing into an action, because they have their cronies and stooges in all the set of NNPC, DPR, PPMC that they share the money together before now. And so therefore they were able to maneuver. And at the end of the day, before the end of March, which we are expecting a downward reviews of the price of fuel, they were able to sabotage and make sure there is scarcity, which is still biting hard today. Now they have went inside there and they have got it, because as at the time this modulation prices was announced, the NNPC said 78% of importation will be from them, while 22% will go to the major marketers. But because that is where they do their round tripping, that is where they do where they bring fuel from abroad, where they are ship battered and at the same time turn back again. Here they presented the money and they collected it. Those are the things that they have been enjoying, and they look at it that this man has slept off. And the docketing area side of President Buhari, because if you are sit at home, you'll be able to see things by himself and know. Because I believe it is wizardry in the petroleum industry that decided that let me make myself the minister of petroleum. All of a sudden they regroup themselves. The same thing happened to the power sector. As at the time that Buhari wanted to take over in 2015 May, there was light. It was like God pronounced another thing in there as he pronounced in Genesis chapter 1. There was light. And what they were expecting as at then was that he's going to declare state of emergency on light, and he's going to review the memorandum of understanding, in which has been the yardstick and the pendant of why we are discussing with the ministers of power and other discussion. This thing is a fraud. But when they saw that he had slept on it, and eventually they enter Fashola, and Fashola himself gollibly agreed that it is the increase that will bring about stable power supply, and he agreed with them. And they said that was how they let through. How do you expect they are going to be like when Abu Salam is the owner of Yola and Ibadan, and plus the plus one Genko in Shiroro? How would you expect there will be like when the likes of Otedola is in charge, the Gigerebu is in charge of Kanji and Ikeja Electric? How would there be like when Atiku still continue to import generator from abroad through Mikano? How would there be light? So those are things that they left undone, and I don't care who they put there. Let the work be done. That's my own. But the Nigerian system, the Nigerians' attitude, this imbecilic attitude that we have that would behave like somebody with autism, that's what is causing problem. How many people are in Iceland? There are only 400,000 people in Iceland. The day they saw that their prime minister name showed up there, the second day they bombard the office of the prime minister. Oga resign, or we burn this place down. And the second day the man resigned. And I still see some idiots still continue to defend Saraki and the rest. Despite the fact despite the obvious and omnibus openness of all these things to them, your future and the future of your children is being taken away by only one man, and you still have the gut and the mouth, the temerity and the audacity to say you are standing by idiots. That's why I call us the Republic of Idiots. If you are not idiot, how would all these things be continue?
Samuel Adeola, the Nigerian Broadcasting Code will not allow that, and I would want us to.
Maybe you will edit it.
Please, I want us to mind our language.
It's too annoying. You say things, and when my learning friend is coming out from the angle of ethnicity, what does that got to do with the project of Nigeria?
You just have to try to temper your emotion
what that got to do with
your
facts.
When
you see people outside there now, see them. I saw people sleeping at 3 days sleeping at the petrol station. I said, for what? For what? No light, no food, no money.
Okay, let's look at I'd asked this question, the implication, for a man who the federal government has been accused of not declaring his assets, while he was two-time governor for 8 years, and certain revelations now before the tribunal about lodgement, payments, and the rest. That is still ongoing. Nigerians are still trying to grapple with, these fraud gates and the rest, and suddenly the Panama confidential papers for tax evasion and for drug havens came up, and the names of Nigerians so far are there, about 4 or 5 of them, and I think about 3 or 4 of them have held senior government positions before. One being a governor, James Ibori, who is in a UK prison, still serving some time there for money laundering. We have a former defense minister, T.Y. Danjuma, with his companies being named, former president of the Senate, David Mark, along with his ex-wife, Saraki, the man at the center of the CCT trial, being named again along with his wife and other family members and friends.
All these names are not surprising to me. I don't know, maybe to any other person. They are not surprising to me. The name I would have found surprising if I found that name there is Buhari's name. My pastor Tunde Bagare name. Those are names that I would say, so I say you're lonely. All these ones are not the people that will say, is he the man that said I sold oil block for 500 billion naira? I be $500 billion. I don't know what to do with the money and I have to create a foundation. Is that the one that you find his name somewhere that money has been disappeared? And I will consider that one and hey, this is surprising. Or is it David Mark that said that telephones are not for the poor? And at the end of the day, we were able to use telephone, but even for the these people, and we know this part and parcel in the life of Abacha's regime and what they did, and now they packed the money that Abacha left behind before the whole thing, before Absalom become the president at the end of the day. Is that one that they will mention his name, and I will now be one day, is he Ibori that is already serving a jail time for stealing money? Is he the one that I will now be saying they find his name there and I say, yeah, oh, this is very surprising, or the same man that you call Saraki. They said the paper, the secret paper is 11 million and you only saw 4. You don't know, the thing is still coming. You don't know how many. The only name I keep on saying it that I will find there that will be surprising to me if I find the name of Buhari there.
Then the world is over.
That is the end now. I will not believe that
it's all over.
It's all over. All those names, I will now find Tinubu's name there and I will now say it's surprising to me. Or which other
but he's a man of the people.
Which other name will I find there that I will now be surprised to me? Is it Absalom's name that I will find there? The man that I will use only 1 year and the whole money he has is even more than those of other African past presidents. Is that the one that I will find there that I will now be saying? So don't make it look as if the whole world is come crashing because of all those people. They are known, hegemonies that have been tormenting us all this while. So I don't know, maybe it's surprising to my
okay. Ofi, I'll come back to you. Let's just go on a short break at this hour to take 1 or 2 messages, and when we return I'll be asking Ofi Ozono his own viewpoint on all this cesspool of fraud. Join us again.
For topical issues, Nigerians must have something to say.
Arms. We don't need arms for anything. Let them put it into education.
They need to buy another arms now. What are they fighting for? Government should deal with them squarely.
Please help us bring back our guests. No money, no markets. We are dying. Everybody is crying. Nothing.
Any man God support, no man stops.
It's a prophecy I believe he must have received from heaven. Yes.
The people giving voice to the voiceless. Every day, every hour, and every minute, news break in Nigeria. Things happen so fast, it's most times difficult to track and comprehend them. But that's what we do right here on Digit 360. 2015, would you want to come back again?
It's like asking Jesus Christ if he knew he was going to die, will you want to come back as the savior of the world again?
We do not just help you track the stories, we break them down, explore all the angles, analyze the issues so that you can fully comprehend the stories and use them to make the right decisions.
Core TV News now live on all Androids.
Welcome to Core TV Primetime News.
Download Core TV News app from your Play Store. Click on the menu to see all our top stories from politics, sports, business, foreign news and live TV to watch us live on your mobile.
I want to know why I should be believing them.
You can also click on video to see all our YouTube videos. Core TV News, a 24-hour news station. You can now watch Core TV News live from anywhere in the world on our website www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
And welcome to Core TV Primetime News.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. On Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click Core TV, leave a space, then News. Core TV News, a 24-hour news station.
Core TV News, expanding your view.
Is it crazy or autocracy? Or what type of crazy is that? Except crazy.
News making the headlines.
Black Maria is to carry criminals, trading looters that are in government today.
Sometimes it gets confrontational.
Slap you in the face.
Excuse me, don't put words into my mouth.
Whatever it is that will bring our military to disrepute, I say to hell
on Core Digest.
I want to know why I should be believing them.
Every weekday, we bring all of these together and take them to the court of public opinion.
Everybody has a right in Nigeria.
Where you are the judge.
All right, so welcome back, and if you're just joining us, it's still SARAKI'S trial and the Panama Leaks, the great revelations. Ufi, you heard Samuel there, but I'm still worried, you know, and I'm sure it's so for a lot of Nigerians, about the implication that this might just be having a snowball effect.
Of course, I saw it coming. Immediately I had saw the Panama Leaks, the documents and all of that. I knew it would get to a point when we will see that a lot of politically exposed Nigerians are part and parcel of that leaks. And it's going to cause a kind of an awakening. And then even give the...
What kind of awakening? Awakening in the consciousness of the Nigerian people that its leaders or political office holders, past and present,
that there's nothing hidden that will not be made manifest. Certainly. But how the system will be able to cope with the rock, that's the issue. Whose case will be swept under the carpet, or whose will now be used as a political
sacrificial lamb.
Yes, that we are fighting these people while these other people are...
Is that what Saraki is going through now?
Well, I wouldn't want to dabble into that, because I feel that this government is doing selective pursuit of supposed criminals.
So it's persecution.
So it should be...
I'm asking you, it's persecution, not prosecution?
It's more like they are persecuting the PDP. That's what the PDP is saying.
Why are you looking at it from... why are you looking at it from, political... party affiliation? Why are you not looking at the individual? Is he a Nigerian? Is he a foreigner? Is he a Beninois that has come to perpetrate all these alleged stuff?
Because
fraud?
If you do not make it whole, what you'll be having is padded budget. Your people will be doing even under you, because you have said that these are untouchables while we'll concentrate on this. That's what happens. The budget came, everybody started screaming, and that same budget, the second one, the same thing, the figures remained, they just changed the header.
Was that a party issue?
No, my question to somebody was, that budget, was it prepared by PDP and given to the government?
The civil servants that are working there, are they PDP? Are they APC?
So, when you talk about
the civil servant that prepared the budget, is it the party secretariat that prepared budget?
Sir, let me differ. You have people who have been appointed to the higher offices and paid to look at the paper before it gets to the presidency to sign. There are people who are paid to do that.
Those are the directors.
So forget about
budgets.
Let's forget about the
civil servants.
Let's leave the civil
servants.
And you say
it's a constant and continual occurrence.
Yes,
if you look at the
which is been happening.
He said there is nothing different from what they did last year.
The previous year. It's a continuum.
It's more or less like what they say, what we do on social media, copy and paste. It's a continuous thing. It is only that it's painstaking that it is this in this administration that they have to do a thorough job. And why the senator did this thorough job is because no money coming to change hands. Because the people over there does not have the mind, or they are not partaker of what is inside that budget. If the people up there are partakers of what is inside that budget, they know how they settle themselves. They said, one of the senators, Malai, said what they normally do was to come during the break. that the senators or the National Assembly will have brain, they will go and meet the executive, and from there they will know the percentage they're going to share among themselves. By the time they come back, say Aye has it, no, and that's the end of it. So in this situation, I don't want us to be looking at it from this primordial angle. The question, like Christian asked, is, does Saraki stole the money, or does he under declare his asset? That's the first question.
Yes.
And that is for the court to determine.
You understand? That is the first question. The
fact that it's in the court does not stop
does
us
not invalidate the reality
on
of
the ground. Yeah, does not prevent us from
it's only for the punishment inherent.
We are not opinionating here. We are not telling the court what to do.
Let me even tell you what court is for.
Yeah.
The court is not meant for only to ascertain whether it is true or not. The person that killed, and they saw him that he killed, does not mean that he is going to court to ascertain whether he killed or not. It's only to apportion the punishment inherent in the offences or the crime you have committed.
That's it.
It is only when we are in doubt on whether he did it or not, that is when the court will now, shove at the evidences around and say, okay, you did it or you did not. But in a clear realities of what we are seeing on ground, the issue of gates, Dasuki gate, Bade gate, these people agreed and they accepted that this money they collected it. Some of them accepted that they collected. Do we still need the court to tell us whether it is real or not? Or whether it is in court, the court has to determine whether truly he collected the money. The only thing that they are in court for is to apportion the punishment that is inherent in such crime
appropriately.
So let us don't let us be trying to dodge under one finger. You can't take anybody.
No, what I'm saying here is, when you're looking at the system of justice, the court has to come to the conclusion that you are guilty before going on to apportion the blame.
We are not saying that. We are not saying that.
I just wanted to correct.
Yeah, we are not saying Saraki. We are not here passing judgment.
I know.
It is not in
reaction to what he said.
Yeah, what you see, look, Nigerians want to know. A lot of them don't even still understand what the Panama leaks are. The Panama leaks are a cesspool of fraud, where you hide
fraudulent character,
hiding wealth. They've stolen, you understand, from a country, from the people, and kept in safe haven for years. And you're talking of
some pseudo names.
Yes, and you're talking. Yes, and you're talking of him even buying a property of £1.8 million from such. And we're saying that there is a man already standing trial for whether under declaration or over declaration of assets, where evidence is being adduced that in one transaction 80 times money was paid into one account.
In criminal matters,
it can make the case stronger for the EFCC.
Absolutely, that is yes, because this has not been this. If the EFCC has front loaded his,
of course, that is what happens in criminal matters.
Absolutely, you front load all your case.
In criminal matters, by the time before the trial begins, or even sometimes ordinarily before you even charge the person, you must have front loaded your evidence.
Absolutely. So that you don't give the person any breathing space.
Yeah, because on a good day there are matters that have been able to handle, and I discovered that on what ground are they charging this one? Because when you look at the evidence, they give you proof of evidences, and you will now look at what is in here. Nothing to show. I've been in court. I saw police coming to the court to come and charge people for stealing. And the magistrate asked, where is the property stolen? He said, by the time they get to where they want to collect it, they said they cannot find it. Okay, where is the complainant? There is no complainant. And so on what ground are you
here? Are you bringing this man here now?
It is a clear case of, okay, on what ground is he here to answer what charges now? Because the purpose of coming to court is to prevent an evidence and that which was stolen. Say, this is what was stolen from here. And I'm sure the defense counsel of Saraki will have already had all these things that they are reading out yesterday and day before yesterday from the from the witnesses' statement, because they already have it in their hand. That is what will help them to prepare their defense and questions for cross-examination. So on a good day, it's a matter of saying, let us wait the kind of punishment that will be apportioned. It is not a question that we are still looking
but I thought that is clear in the CCT's the act establishing it.
Clear,
so
but you cannot primarily, the only thing that is not clear is the year that you can give for not being able to hold office. It's not a lifetime. It's not. It can be between 10 years and above. So it is the prerogative of the judge to determine how
no jail time.
No jail time. It's only 3 things that can be given
in all of this.
In all of this.
Maybe that's why Professor Wabwezi said the real sense of the word, that the CCT is not a
court. Yes.
Unfortunately,
they don't have power to punish.
Unfortunately, that what is punishment?
So then, what is all this drama about?
Wait, what is punishment?
So no. This would really be sickening to Nigerians.
No,
if they know.
Let me tell you
a lot of them don't know.
Let me tell you the 3 things.
Good.
Number 1, he will have to leave that post.
Yes.
You understand? Not that he will leave Senate President post. He will leave the Senate. He's no longer qualified to stay there. He has lost the seat. Is that enough punishment? 2, all the properties will be seized and become that of the government. Is that enough punishment? He will also be banned. And the paragraph 17 of the 5th schedules of the Nigerian Constitution says that even the president that has prerogative of pardon cannot pardon such people that have been so banned. So what more further punishment do you want? Somebody that is politically active will now become a political doser. They cannot even mention. It's not like when they say somebody cannot, when he's banned in sport and said anything related to football, you must not be seen or you must not contribute to it. Is that not enough punishment? The law is not supposed to serve.
Is that enough punishment compared to, excuse me?
There is a provision again, let me say this.
Okay.
There is a provision in which, having been found guilty, it can still be prosecuted in another court of record for criminal punishment. So
on the same issue.
Of the same, once it's been pronounced, so if the EFCC still intends to pursue the matter, they can go ahead and say,
Could they have pursued the matter simultaneously?
No, they can't.
You cannot pursue it simultaneously.
No, you cannot, because the CCT is the court of primary constituency for such
assets declaration.
It is conferred on them, constitutionally conferred on them under the 5th schedules of the 1999 Constitution as amended. So you cannot dump the CCT. That's why I keep looking at those people that are arguing that the CCT does not have jurisdiction, the CCT does not have criminal this thing. It was rightly stated there that the CCT can assume the criminal court even in a matter like that. So
is it stated there?
It's stated.
So then it can now go beyond. It can now do other sentence in jail term. If it's stated there, if it can assume such a criminal jurisdiction.
I think the spirit and the letters of that word is to let the people know that anyone that committed such atrocity has a criminal tendency. And I think it is to avoid all these injunctions and pep talk about not being qualified to try that. Because I think the drafters of the Constitution envisage a situation whereby lawyer may want to hide and say, do you use that to scot to the process of adjudication. So that is why they put that proviso there. But as it were, when he said CCT does not have jurisdiction, so who else has that jurisdiction? When the 5th schedule is so clear, unambiguous, it's written in black and white, and it is their jurisdiction, it is their work, it is their business to do that. So when you now say they don't have jurisdiction, I wonder who has such jurisdiction, because you cannot give such jurisdiction to another court of law.
So the matter had to come back. It's continuing, which is good.
All right, gentlemen, we're going to, Ufi, you continue on that, but let's take a short break now. And before we do that, let's call on our viewers within and outside the country to join us on this issue. It's really been steamy, actually. The number to call is +234 816 481 8001. If you look right in front of your screen there to the right below, you would see the number. But for the benefit of the unsighted, it's +234 816 481 8001. Start calling us after the break. Stay with us.
VAT, Value Added Tax, is a tax paid on all goods and services and remitted by the seller of the goods or provider of the service to government. 5% VAT is added to the total cost of goods and services in Nigeria, and when remitted to government is used for funding development. The VAT you pay will be used by government to develop our transport infrastructure like roads and railway lines, to continually improve our educational sector by building more schools and upgrading existing ones, to provide adequate security and a better quality of life for us all. Pay your VAT. Make your contributions to the development of Nigeria. It pays to pay your tax. This message is from the Federal Inland Revenue Service.
Core TV News now live on all Androids.
Welcome to Core TV Primetime News.
Download Core TV News app from your Play Store. Click on the menu to see all our top stories from politics, sports, business, foreign news and live TV to watch us live on your mobile.
I want to know why I should be believing them.
You can also click on video to see all our YouTube videos. Core TV News, a 24-hour news station.
Is it wallcracy or autocracy? Or what type of crazy is that? Except crazy.
News making the headlines.
Black Maria is to carry criminals, trading looters that are in government today.
Sometimes it gets confrontational.
Slap you in the face. They don't put words into my mouth.
Whatever it is that will bring our military to disrepute, I said to hell
on
with it.
Core Digest.
I want to know why I should be believing them.
Every weekday, we bring all of these together and take them to the court of public opinion.
Everybody has a right in Nigeria.
Where you are the judge.
All right, you're welcome back, and like we said, please call us on +234 816 481 8001 so that you can contribute to our discussion. Yes, Ufi, you were talking about the Supreme Court having made certain declarations about jurisdiction, or
yes,
so
the Supreme Court said go back and continue with the trial. So that's why SARAKI'S in the dock, and the EFCC is having a field day presenting the documents,
but
which is
after
good.
the Supreme Court made that statement that Agabi still come back to come and ask for jurisdiction, come and challenge the jurisdiction.
Okay, that's interesting.
I bet on a spurious and different ground this time, but it ought not to come out at all because the Supreme Court is the last say.
Arbiter, yeah.
So, well, like you said, like he himself said, he said he's now happy that his trial
has commenced.
Unfortunately, I don't know when his happiness started. Maybe after he saw that the whole thing had failed and all the caricature cannot work. That's when the happiness began. But if I were him, by now they would have finished up with this thing. But he was just trying to make things happen, thinking that it is Nigerians of those days where they will use political and good effect. Like I said here on this studio, when the issue of Saraki started, I said, if this government failed to nip it in the bud and make sure that Saraki faces this trial, that is the end of anti-corruption. Nobody will take them serious.
Okay, our regular caller as usual, Balogun from Delta State, has joined us. Good morning, Balogun.
Yeah, good morning, Christian.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. Balogun, what do you think about all these, the SARAKI'S trial, the Panama leaks, the issue of corruption among government officials in this country?
Well, thank you. I really like to one of the guys there, Samuel.
Yeah.
Telling Nigeria the truth. Either the opponent is trying to be economy with the truth. And that is the reality on ground in our nation. It is a shame. It is a colossal disgrace to our nation that our collective wealth are just in few hands. And they are the people manipulating our nation. Where Nigerians are suffering, we are looking for forests to import fuel, and this money is just in few hands. And Nigerians are just suffering for nothing. This is just my contribution. My contribution is our nation, our leaders should be very sincere with us. Buhari come on the platform of change, and what is happening to Saraki, he should honorably resign and leave the floor of the Senate and go to his house and rest and face the charges and look and wait for the outcome of the penalty we're going to get from the offense he has allegedly committed. We cannot sit here and be watching him presiding over Nigeria, presiding over a very big nation like this, and where he's having a disgrace on the crown of his head. The Nigerian Labour Congress is also sleeping. We don't even have a Nigerian Labour Congress on this that is happening. They're supposed to protest and telling Nigeria that this is not what we expected from this government. It is a colossal shame on this nation. So, our leaders should be sincere, and our anti-graft agents should go further. Not this Panama paper. There are still more coming. This Panama paper is just a tick of a iceberg in our nation. May God help our nation. Otherwise, one day, Nigeria will become a failed state in our present, and nothing we could do. Nigeria should wake up and defend the core Nigeria, not to rely on our leaders. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Balogun. He said something very germane there. The moral rectitude does not seem to be on our shoulders or imbued in us when one is faced with very grave allegations like this. Yes, there are allegations, but look at the people you are superintending over, and you cannot just say, look, let me step aside. Later, Kadigo did it, and he stepped aside.
Brother Christian, even if it's an allegation, is your conscience also dead to know that this thing I did it? At least you would know now. You would know that I did this thing. But it's because of the system. I keep saying it. At least you and I'm not from Iceland now. But you saw what happened in Iceland. The second day his name came out, his people rise up.
And there's going to be an election in a couple of weeks there because of that.
Yes, Oga, I beg, you can't continue. We can't continue seeing you.
To have you as our Prime Minister.
Prime Minister, come on for that place.
So why is ours different here, Ufi?
Well, like I said,
look, Nigerians must be a special breed or the black man, you know.
Thank God that even use
let's take Emmanuel, please. Emmanuel is calling from Ondo. Good morning, Emmanuel.
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir.
Thank you for joining us on Core Digest. Please tell us what are your thoughts about our topic this morning.
All right, sir. I just want to make some observation.
Can you speak up a little more, please, Emmanuel?
Okay. I just make some observation about what is happening in this country. Hello?
Yeah, go on. We're struggling to hear you very well, very clearly here.
All right. I just want to make some observation. I just want to make some observation.
Go on. Yeah, make your contribution. Go on.
Okay.
I'm afraid, Emmanuel, you would have to call back because it will be difficult for us to comment on what you're saying when clearly we're not hearing you. You know, the line is woolly. It's woolly, so we aren't getting enough. Yeah, Ufi, you heard what I asked.
Yes. When it comes to the issue of whether we can even be able to tackle these allegations, corruptions, and all of that, and whether we don't resign when we ought to resign, like you said, it's all about the human conscience. But you see, over there in the other countries, the reason why they resign, not so much because of the conscience, but because an allegation has been made. Let me step aside so as not to appear as
to jeopardize.
I'm influencing the circumstances surrounding those allegations, either to quieten them or to sweep them under the carpet.
So the Republican candidate Donald Trump may just have been right there.
Some of
the black man has a very, very peculiar case.
Attitude,
so Donald Trump may just be right.
He has been reading, he reads the African. You know, they said the two attitudes of an African when it comes to the political
you must find one in the Nigerian.
Primitive accumulation, conspicuous consumption.
Yeah.
That is our basic, those are our basic problems. So if you see a man, he accumulates. See the houses he will build, see the cars he will drive. Those are the things, and it becomes motivation for the aspiring people who want to get into the next class. You understand? So those people, at the point, the end now justifies the means, like they say. Nobody cares how you get it, but just get it because everybody will celebrate you. Now, like what I've said several times on the show, I said, look, you get to a village and then you are able to make in quotes, and then you are giving chieftaincy title. Nobody cares how you made it. Even when EFCC comes after the person, the people will be saying, because it's my person, it's because it's from my side.
They will rally and protest it.
Yes, and then somebody was saying, but there was an EFCC boss that was accused, that was alleged to have, benefited somehow to the tune of something. Why is his own not being sung? Why is he not answering the questions in court and all of that? And people gave the impression that because he was from a particular ethnic group.
Unfortunately, those people did not follow the case at all. Because his case is in court and he has run away.
Okay, please let's go to Badagry and join Afolabi. Good morning, Afolabi.
Hello?
Yeah, good morning, Afolabi. Okay. Yeah. Go on, please. Okay.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning, Afolabi. Thanks for joining us.
I even seriously like this program.
Thank you.
What really happened is we have to imbibe culture of honesty. Are you hearing me, sir?
I can hear you now. Go on.
Yeah, I said what I've just said is, number one, all of us we are being economical with truth.
Yeah.
We are not being straightforward. Okay, yeah.
Go on. I can hear you. Where's the interruption coming from?
We are not being sincere with ourselves. Look at one man that is dodging. You see, there's not three problem we have: sentiment. People will say one thing. It's from your hand.
I agree with you, Afolabi. It's most unfortunate that we're losing our callers like this, I think somebody is not just pressing the buttons very well there in the control room. But let's go on while that is sorted out. My other worry is that there is even no provision in our laws to say that, look, if XY allegations, grievous as they look, even in the realm of allegations, please step aside. If you're not found guilty, you'll come and continue in office.
Such law cannot be, because Section 36 of Section 1 of the Constitution has said anyone that is alleged is presumed innocent on his why is proved by the law, and any law outside that constitutional provision cannot pass any what we call repugnancy test, and it will be non and void, of no effect, which is void ab initio. So I don't think they don't have intention of putting such there, but the more often than not, they consider what we call the constitutional provision, and they don't want a kind of a log jam. That's where we are talking about the El-Rufai religious bill. That look, that thing is contradicting the constitution, and the constitution is the grand norm. So regardless of your emotion or what you think.
Is there no attorney general in that state? Maybe I'm sure the attorney general is a merua. He's probably not a lawyer.
There may be, he must be a lawyer, but
he's a lawyer.
The fact still remains that some of them are bootlickers. Some of them, I call them yes ministers. You see, when you are too attached to position and the seat that you have.
In fact, I think the Minister of Justice and Attorney General wouldn't be seen as an interloper or a busybody to call the governor of that state to say, look, what you're trying to do runs counter to the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
That when we say we are federation, the state has the right to do law. Unfortunately, it is left for the people to see that this is not law. When something is void ab initio, there's nothing you can do. You can't build something on nothing. Me, I will go to Kaduna and go and preach. Let them pass the law.
Okay. Let's go over to Niger State. Good morning, Nasri.
Good morning, Chris.
Yeah, thanks for joining us, Nasri.
Okay, thank you.
All right, let's hear your thoughts.
There is a provision in 1999 Constitution as amended.
Yeah.
That anytime I just hear people say that it hurts me. Presumption of innocence until proven otherwise by the competent court of law. Are we saying that we are going to presume the innocence of Abubakar Shekau, the leader of dreaded Boko Haram, because he has not been convicted by any court of law?
So until the court proves his innocence,
until the court proves him guilty, that is what 1999 Constitution is saying. That is exactly what these people are relying upon to continue to perpetuate these cultures in impunity.
Exactly.
Okay, let me give you an instance. Those lawyers there in the studios, they know how they do it. If you take any man to court, the first thing they do is to steal a bill. Then from there, they continue to file for some frivolous injunction, expedite orders, so that they can hold the trial. He is already out on bail. He is, he can contest for office. He can do whatever he wants. 60% of Nigerian prison populations, okay, are people on remand. They are not been convicted yet. Nobody is talking of their right.
Yeah.
Some lawyers will come to your studios and see, if they have to enforce their fundamental human rights. Who is enforcing the fundamental human rights of that 60% of Nigerian prison population? It's just terrible. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Nasri. Nasri from Niger State. Indictment against you learned people. You say
let me take one of these.
One aspect, quickly.
He said, give an example of
Shekau. Yeah. Would you say he's innocent?
He is wrong to have said that because Shekau has declared war on the Nigerian state.
But when he's in court, he's innocent. Is he not innocent?
Has he been found to be taken to the court? As far as you have declared war and the army is now battle ready to fight you, whatever you see, you take because it's state of war. So Shekau's matter should not even be mentioned. But if he's arrested, if he's arrested, it's a different ball game.
That's what Nasir is saying.
You cannot change the spirit and the letter of the Constitution except through the normal process. So as long as that letter.
So for a man who has killed more than 20,000.
Yeah, you said it.
Okay.
He said it.
I love
and then I said frivolous application. What is frivolous? As far as the law, the ambit of the law allows the lawyer to explore for the purpose of the liberties.
For justice.
And then the sake of justice. He will, after they have done everything and the court still finds him guilty, then everybody says
the
yes. Even the man that committed will say yes. They fought the law, everything. He will be happy even in prison. That yes, justice was done.
You see, that's what the Constitution is talking about.
But if you explore nothing,
fair hearing. That is, you are given opportunity to hear yourself. You are given opportunity to be heard. You are also given opportunity to defend yourself and to be defended, so that at the end of the day, you wouldn't have said, okay, even though I committed the offense, my punishment wouldn't have been up to that one.
Nasir, okay, look at what Nasir is saying, that in our prisons, more than 60-70% of the people there are AWT, awaiting trials. Is that supposed to be?
Let me say.
What is the essence of bail, for example?
Let me say.
Is bail supposed to be punitive? A man steals a goat, right? And instead of granting him bail, you put him to prison.
No.
Still awaiting trial.
Christian, things are not done that way in the law court.
That Nasri cited example.
Nasri is just citing it based on his ignorance of how the court works and how the law works. Everybody that came to court or they charged to court, apart from a capital offence, which the punishment is death, are entitled to bail. The other people that are not obliged bail are the armed robbers, and even armed robber can still be given bail after 30 days, in which the magistrate must have ordered his demand warrant to be signed. After 30 days and the DPP has not given his advice, he is entitled to pay according to section 264 subsection 5 of the Lagos State Administration Criminal Justice. The same thing, section 269 of the Administration of Criminal Justice of this Nigeria 2015. Some of the reason why people remain as ATM is because when they were given that bail condition, they were not able to meet it. I have a case in my hand. 2 ladies who was erroneously, I'm coming to how those places are populated. And you will know that the systemic changes must not come from the court. 2 ladies that were erroneously charged with armed robbery because they were unfortunate to have been in a hotel. One is working as a receptionist and the other one, he came there as a guest with her boyfriend. An armed robber of selected young boys invaded the place in the night, and the police said that they are charging them to court based on the CCTV footage that they saw them playing with the armed robber. And I said, are you expecting them to be fighting armed robber now? Even you.
Sorry. Let me just quickly take David from Edo State. Good morning, David.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Yeah. Just quickly tell us what your thoughts are about our topic.
Yeah, to refer to this fuel hike that is ongoing. Hello?
Please go on.
Yeah, you see, the problem we are having in this country is not about corruption. It's not about society. Are you hearing me?
Very well.
Because the government that we are having in this country, we don't really know what they are taking us to. We are talking about SARAKI'S. That one is a different issue entirely. Most of these people that you are seeing in the government today that are in Abuja, most of them, they are in the same court. Once anything that is being discussed, at the end of the day, they go and that they decide on what to do. That's why we are not seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. I think it would be good they have to find a solution to this thing before it turns to something different. If nothing is being done, believe you me, before 30 days, it will be a different from this.
Yeah.
And in the respect of the NSC, we don't even know what it is that the NSC is what it is doing there. Because it's just there, doing nothing. Because it's been there for the past 6 months now, it's not doing anything, we don't even know where we are.
Okay, thank you very much, David from those states, giving another perspective to it. So,
like I was saying, eventually we were able to prove to the magistrate and they were giving bail. But the first one was able to meet a bail condition. The second one is still with the SARS today because the 2 shorty that was supposed to build. If we have not been able to help and to make sure that they got bail that day and they were not transferred to Kirikiri, they will still have been in Kirikiri. But they were asked to be remanded, to be taken back to SARS. One has been granted bail because he met the condition. The second one is still grappling with the 2 shorty that was supposed to represent her. So, like I was saying, when you talk about ATM, there are some of them that are genuinely there for the offenses they committed. But there are some that are lumped there because of the ineptitude and the greed of our law enforcement agents. I just mentioned to you that I was in court and the policeman brought 2 guys that they said they stole phone 3310, and the magistrate said, where is the phone? Where is the complainant? There was none. And if the magistrate was not magnanimous enough to have asked for the case file before it, before he now said, let me stand down this case, I have to look at it, because the lawyer said, look, you have to strike out this case for want of diligent prosecution.
Okay, let's join Austin from the Confluence State of Lokoja. Good morning, Austin.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. Quickly, tell us what your thoughts are.
First of all, I want to use this medium to thank Mr. Samuel.
Okay.
Because he's really saying the part, and having someone like this in the country will really give us, we youth, a hope of a better tomorrow. Please, my first issue is with the judiciary.
Okay.
You guys know this Mr. Saraki is really guilty, and you are still fighting for him. Please, what hope do we youth have for tomorrow? That means they are giving us a means of we to go into corruption. And if we to start going into corruption, please, where is Nigeria going to? Where is the country turning into? Please, this issue of corruption should be really rectified to the extent that we youth should be able to be proud of ourselves. Now, like yesterday, I was hearing some issue of some Nigeria being arrested in China. It's not about their criminal acts. It's because of the name they've been given to country, given to us in Nigeria. We've been into corruption level. That's why they arrest any of our members outside the country anyhow they like. And for the judiciary issue, if this issue is not being taken care of the way it should be, please, you are giving we the youth a benefit of it going into corruption line, and we are still going to have a bid for it. Please let them rectify this issue the way it should be done for we to have a better tomorrow.
Okay.
Thanks, and God bless.
Thank you very much, Austin, from the Confluence State, Lokoja. It says the youths are not really being shown good example here. The judiciary seems to be a problem in all of this. The political class, no moral rectitude to really drive the country positively. I said it's like, Donald Trump's assertion is playing out here. Do we need recolonization really?
Sorry for even cutting you. But I think it is wrong to always hit at the judiciary. There is a purpose, and it's nefarious, and it must be stemmed in a time before it becomes something else. Nobody should mention the judiciary. The judiciary might have an issue. We have bodies that are set up to pick out the bad eggs in the system and to discipline them.
Why shouldn't are there no human beings in the judiciary? But you pick out the police every now and again. Is it because they are seen on the streets?
I'll give you an instance.
Yeah.
When the Supreme Court made its decision regarding the Rivers State election, the Akwa Ibom and all of that, because it didn't go a party's way, the party made serious allegations that were very much unfounded. Because I know the reputation of the Supreme Court. Supreme Court have been able to exist and to hold tenaciously to the tenets of the laws, even in military dictatorship that were very, very worse. And that same Supreme Court has grown over a period of time till now. So for that party to have hit at the Supreme Court, it was as though there was a plan afoot to launch something sinister. That was how I saw it, and it was very wrong. And now we are now having snipers upon snipers coming up. People will just
okay. Let's go to
wrong.
Yeah. Let's go to Ghana. Good morning, Collins. Collins is calling us from Ghana. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. I am so much thankful for your programs and all the things people are doing to make Nigeria a better place.
Thank you.
But it's quite very, very unfortunate that we have bad leaders who do not have the interest of ordinary Nigerians at heart. You see, the issue of corruption in Nigeria has gotten to the extent that everybody is losing faith in the Nigerian government. You see, the people who are in the airline, the leading us, they are not being very fair to us. Look at what is happening now, Panama leakage and whatever. Tariq is facing cases at his court. Right now, he has lobbied up almost 90 lawyers around him to defend him. And it is quite very, very obvious that what he did is a factory which is supposed to get down from that system. You know. So we that are Nigerians outside, we are not happy with what is going on. There is no fuel. People are sleeping in the petrol station 4-5 days. Some even go home without no fuel. Yesterday I was reading in the news somewhere in Texas. A boy of 18 years was shot dead because he bought fuel which he wanted to use at home. But the just shut him down, thinking that maybe it's a hawker. So all these things are not fine. I mean, it's not giving us joy and happiness at all.
I know.
If Nigeria is not well taken care of, I mean, it's going to be a fair nation. The youth might take up arms. There might be a revolution in that country.
Okay.
If Nigerians are not people who have the care of God in them, who depend and fight to survive themselves without believing in the government, by now I think I would have taken a different thing altogether.
Yes,
so they should help us to make things okay for us. Billions of dollars cut away in foreign countries. They can repatriate them back to Nigeria. Develop because use the money judiciously, big companies. If we have companies, nobody would like to go out in Nigeria. When you work in a very good company, you get some money to take care of your family. Through that, you can start building up a small-scale business, industry, to create more jobs for other people. We are a blessed nation. Nigeria is a blessed nation that has everything. Even over here that we are, they are even surprised that a country that is of Nigeria that can be going through all these kind of scandals and stupidity that is happening in that country.
Okay, Collins.
National the Red Chamber tomorrow. Don't be surprised that it's going to the House of Representatives. The whole problem that is happening right now. So they want to clear the Senate first, then they go into the House of Reps. Problem from one problem to another, one problem to another. Where are we heading to?
Absolutely, Collins. Indeed. Where are we heading to, gentlemen? It's time for us to start winding this program down. So, Ufi, if you want to, in a sentence, where are we really heading to? Like Austin from Ghana asked, is telling us that it's becoming really shameful being a Nigerian, being identified as such, because we're like corruption personified.
Well, I think the problem is the political class did not rise to the plate where they can show exemplary behavior to the rest of the society. That's where the problem itself is coming from. If you see an office, like I keep saying, the political offices appear too juicy that people are willing to kill others to get there. That shows that what they are going there to do is to take advantage.
It's for self-aggrandizement. It's for self-aggrandizement. I tend to want to agree here now with Samuel Adiola when he said, look, corruption and how these elites aggregate all these things knows no ethnicity, no color, no religion, not where you come from and the rest. It is just one mindset. Because why is it that in the Senate, even the opposition party has not carpeted the president of the Senate who is standing trial for corruption?
A destructive me cannot bring about a constructive end. Look at the underneath of each and every one of them that are there. 419s are there, Amovas are there, Chiefs are there, they are there. I just read yesterday with a good facts and paper that shows that Dino Menaye, when he was calling himself a network anti-corruption and we were all together at Sheraton Hotel.
You were moving around with him.
We were moving, he always joined us in Lagos to come and join us in one of our this thing. Now in the name of anti-corruption, he was busy collecting land from Jonathan. That man. I saw the document now, so send it to me. I saw it.
You've seen the document. Please, can you forward some to me? Please?
Okay.
Please.
The document he collected 2 lands from Jonathan, and yet he will join us in Lagos. They say anti-corruption. He is the head of the network anti-corruption, and Jonathan is corrupt.
I hope you have not seen my own lands. I bought mine in Abuja. I didn't collect.
Even searching for your name in Panama.
All right, gentlemen. Thanks very much for being part of this program. Ufi Uzono, a legal practitioner, Samuel Adeola, human rights activist and a practitioner too. Thanks so very much, gentlemen. To our esteemed and teaming viewers within and outside Nigeria, let's thank particularly Collins from Ghana and particularly Balogun from Delta. He is always with us, and of course Nasri too from Niger State. Keep your calls coming in, and I hope we've shared some great thoughts on our topic today, SARAKI'S trial and the Panama leaks, the great revelations. As they unfold, we'll either be updating you in our various news bulletins on Core TV News or on this program. Once it gets more steamy, let me not use the English grammar that is not in the English lexicon. But that's been our program today, and let me thank all the folks behind the scene, the transmission director, our chief cameraman, and the audio personnel, and all the ones handling our calls. My name is Christian Obodo. A very good morning, and enjoy the rest of your day until I see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Is it crazy or autocracy? Or what type of crazy is that? Except crazy.
News making the headlines.
Black Maria is to carry criminals, trading looters that are in government today.
Sometimes it gets confrontational.
Slap you in the face. They don't put words into my mouth.
Whatever it is that will bring our military to disrepute, I said to hell
on Core Digest.
I want to know why I should be believing them.
Every weekday, we bring all of these together and take them to the court of public opinion.
Everybody has a right in Nigeria.
Where you are the judge.